In recent years, video games have become more and more reliant on the performances actors can bring to characters. Of course, what contributes to a great character is of course the writing, even the music, but an actor's performance is absolutely invaluable, especially with the use of motion capture, which is very, very common these days to allow actors to bring even more to a role than they ever were able to before. And so I thought for this episode of the Advent Calendar, which is the series I do in December where I upload every single day in the build up to Christmas, I'd go over my personal top 10 video game performances. It's less of a top 10 video game performances and more of 10 of the top video game performances, because I employed a few restrictions on myself when making this video. I thought it wouldn't be very fun if the list consisted of 5 different characters from God of War or 5 actors from Red Dead Redemption 2. I thought it made a bit more sense to try and make the list more varied, because that would make for a much more interesting video. So what I did was, I can only pick one character from a game. If I pick a character, that's it. I have to move on to a different game. I can't pick a bunch from the same game or the same franchise. What this means is I've ended up with a very diverse list of characters that I believe are a pick of some of my absolute favorites. But I didn't want to forget some major ones, so what I asked on Twitter was for your video game performances. Not yours, your favorite ones that exist. I didn't want you to perform in a game. And so what I'll do at the end of the video is I'll go through some of the honourable mentions by scrolling through twitter.com and seeing what we can find. Now these performances aren't in any particular order. I've not like ranked them from 10 to 1. They're just a list of 10 that I think are really, really good and worthy of noting that I personally really like. The first one I've got on my list is Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. Oh man, I can already hear the sweet, sweet sound of keyboards clicking away. I can hear it. I can already hear it through my mic. That's not how mics work. The Last of Us Part 2 didn't resonate with everyone. Well, it did actually. It did resonate with everyone. Just with some people, it manifested in aggressive ways, mean ways, vitriolic ways. The Last of Us Part 2 is a game that I absolutely adore, and I've gone on record saying that a number of times. You can check out my video of when I first finished it and sort of went through and analysed the story from like the perspective of someone that had just finished the game. And I think that although the writing was tremendous, the sound design, the music, the level design, everything was tremendous, I think one of the core things that allowed for me to connect with Abby the way that I was supposed to was the performance from Laura Bailey. The range that she gives this character allows for you to hate her at first, and then it also allows you to love her too, to sympathize, to feel things, and your emotions get torn up and confused and you don't know what to think anymore. And I feel like she really, really captures that in her performance with the character. And yeah, I could have put Joel on this list, but Troy Baker sells NFTs, so I didn't feel like it. And yes, I could have picked Ashley Johnson, but she's kind of the obvious pick. I wanted to highlight a performance that was difficult to like. It was hard for me to come around to Abby, but I already liked Ellie. I already liked Joel. They didn't have to try that hard with their performance, although they were definitely stellar too. Laura Bailey's performance had to be perfect. Otherwise, you could have conveyed the script completely wrong, and I never would have felt what I felt playing the game. So hats off to her. She's fucking tremendous. Next up, I've got Jeremy Davies' performance as Boulder in God of War 2018.
No matter what I do or say, you won't stop interfering in my life.
I said this in my God of War 2018 retrospective that I made back in October, but Jeremy Davies to me is the standout performance of God of War 2018. I love all the performances in that game. I think all of the actors are doing an absolute standout job, but something about Jeremy Davies' performance just captures my attention every single time. There's something electric about it, something that I just can't put my finger on because it's electric and I get tased. That was a stupid joke. He's capturing this rage, this inner turmoil that this character's been living with for so long. He manages to exude it and make every scene just fill with that energy. It's tremendous. Boulder's story is a tragic one, and I really think Davies manages to capture that too. I think he manages to capture all facets of this character, and his performance, along with of course the strong writing, manages to bring out every little nuance in this character in a way that allows you to connect with them on a level that you can't with a lot of video game antagonists. I really do think that Jeremy Davies' performance is one of the most major parts of that. Now for one that is obvious, but I couldn't not put on the list. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2.
We ain't both gonna make it. Go. Now.
I'll hold him off. It would mean a lot to me.
I mean, what more do I really need to say? What a stellar standout performance. Just absolutely tremendous. I mean, most of the actors, all of the actors in Red Dead Redemption 2 did a terrific job, but Roger Clark specifically, a superb job of going from this outlaw is lacking purpose almost, that's just following along with Dutch, that's doing bad things, that lacks honor. But then once you crack that hard exterior, you all of the compassion and love and kindness comes oozing out like a Cadbury's cream egg, but it's Arthur's head. And I love that about his performance. I think he really manages to capture not only that hard exterior and that hardened outlaw vibe, but he also manages to capture this really sensitive man on the inside, and that transition between the two is so wonderful. And the performance is one of the reasons, along with of course the writing, that when you have that final exchange between Arthur and John on that cliff top, it just hits so fucking hard. Sounds like I'm crying, bro. I'm choking. Something. Next up, we've got Roger Craig Smith's Ezio Auditore.
When I was a young man, I had liberty, but I did not see it. I had time, but I did not know it. And I had love, but I did not feel it.
I mean, Ezio is my personal favorite video game character, favorite fictional character. And it's not based on anything like objective or something that I can like back up. It's just, he means a lot to me, and he is written very well, but part of why I love him so much comes from the incredible performance given by Roger Craig Smith. He managed to play Ezio when he was 17, all the way through to when he's 65 and dies. He plays him that whole time, and that whole time, he manages to capture the nuances of that age of the character, whether he's in his 20s and still learning things, whether he's in his 40s and figuring out how to lead the Brotherhood, or whether he's in his 50s and 60s and he's an older man and he's wise and more tempered. I think that he does a really, really good job. Part of why Ezio is so beloved is that voice work from Roger Craig Smith, I would say. I think that the writing is part of it. Obviously, you got to have a well-written game and a well-written protagonist with character progression and development and stuff, but there's something about Roger's performance that just captures Ezio Auditore in a way that just allows you to connect with him so much, allows you into his world and his story, and you're along for the ride. He manages to do a convincing range of emotions, from anger to sadness to joy to comedy even as well. Everything then works together to form a convincing character, and that's why people love Ezio so much. Roger did a bloody stellar job. The next one I've got is a bit different. It's Jason Griffith's performance as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Now, for me, as someone that grew up on this era of Sonic, for me, Jason Griffith captures and embodies Sonic the Hedgehog as a character. I think as he started in Sonic X and then progressively, honed his skills over the course of his tenure as Sonic, he managed to get to a point where he was just phenomenal by the end point. You look at his performance in Sonic Unleashed, and it is absolutely incredible. That is the definitive level of Sonic performances. That's the marker. That's the bar you've got to hit. And Roger ran into it and knocked himself out, I think. Which is why his Sonic sounds like that.
A hedgehog's gotta do what a hedgehog's gotta do.
I love Griffith's performance, and an honourable mention here to his work as Shadow the Hedgehog too. He did a tremendous job differentiating him from Sonic while, making him sound recognisable too. You're a good job. Next up, we've got the one, the only, Batman, Kevin Conroy.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Obviously, he's played Batman in a lot of things, but in terms of video games, he was the voice of Batman in primarily the Arkham series. Except for Arkham Origins, which I think Roger Craig Smith ran into that bar again. His Batman just captures the character. Sometimes in such few words, just the tone, the way he speaks, it just is like no other. People have tried to mimic his type of Batman in other animated movies and shows, or like Roger did in Arkham Origins, and they really just don't come close. yeah, on the surface level they might sound similar, but my god, there's something in the nuance of Kevin Conroy's beautiful performance as the Batman that just is completely unmatched. It's very sad that we will never again hear that from Kevin Conroy, and we might not hear someone voice that character in that sort of way ever again. He was one of a kind, and he will certainly be missed. Next up, I've got Michael Mando's Vaas from Far Cry 3.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?
Now, I don't think Far Cry 3 is like an incredibly written game. I think it has a few issues, but it's obviously the best Far Cry game. I think that's undisputed. Feel free to dispute me in the comments. I will absolutely not read it. But I believe that this is a case of someone elevating the script. If we didn't have Michael Mando playing Vaas, he could be just a regular old villain. But I feel that Michael Mando's performance as this character elevates the script to another level and elevates the character to the status that he has. I mean, just look at how they used him in live action skits and things to promote the show. It's because his performance is the game. I said show just then, didn't I? I didn't mean that. It's a game. And he's great. The next one I've got is a bit of a wild card, I feel. A bit crazy and out there. And that's Erica Mori's performance as Alex Chen in Life is Strange: True Colors.
For so many years, I just wanted to survive. To get through.
This was a performance that I genuinely thought was standout, terrific, brilliant. The game itself is my favorite Life is Strange. I think it's absolutely tremendous, and I've got a video essay talking about why. I'll link it down below if you want to go watch it. Not many people did, and that makes me feel sad on a daily basis. But I think the performance is something that just captures this character. I think that she absolutely gave it her all and nailed it. It's really, really good. It had me emotionally invested, it gave a lot of weight to the character's actions, and it had me tearing up at the end. You can go watch my reaction on stream to the ending of the game, and I loved it, man. I loved this so much. She absolutely deserved to win an award for that, and I will take that with me to my grave. I won't. That's not what I meant at all. I meant that's the hill that I will die on. I won't take it to my grave, I just said it on camera. Number 9... I am still counting. I've got Steve Downes as Master Chief.
I should have protected Cortana. Stopped everything from going wrong. I failed her. I will not fail you.
It's iconic. Halo is one of my favorite franchises. Now it's... Yeah, that's a debatable statement. But I feel that his performance, even with a script that's not that good, can elevate the script because he manages to capture what Master Chief's character is. And I think that's absolutely tremendous. His performance has never wavered. All the way from Halo CE to Halo Infinite, he's always giving it his all and nailing that performance as Master Chief. And I think it's absolutely bloody brilliant. And the fact that they tried to replace him in the show is obscene. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Master Chief absolutely does not fuck, alright? Unless it's me. And number 10 I've got on this list is Stephen Merchant's Wheatley from Portal 2.
And it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
Comedy is a hard thing to achieve, and I mean, you and I know that. I've been making jokes at this whole video, and I don't think you laughed once. I mean, I've not heard anything. Just the keyboard. You're still typing? Oh my god, you hate Abby that much? But I believe that comedy is even harder in video games because it's so much easier for it to come across as cringe or novelty or gimmicky. Along with the writing of Portal 2, Stephen Merchant's charming performance manages to just capture that. He is effortlessly funny, no matter what he's doing. I mean, that, goes without saying. He is a, comedian. He's had his own stand-up shows. He co-wrote The Office. The good one. And as well, I feel like he also has incredible range, too. He manages to go from, this funny character to being quite threatening and, in a way that isn't conventional for video games. Because Wheatley isn't scary in the sense that, he's intimidating. He's scary in the sense that, you feel sorry for this guy. You pity him. How did this happen? It's a shame, and I feel like he manages to convey that through the performance, and it's really, really good. Alright, I've got my one honourable mention from me here, and that is Abu Bakr Salim's performance as Bayek of Siwa in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Sleep. I never sleep. I just wait in the shadows, and I will kill you all. Everyone who sniffed the air that day in Siwa!
Now, I think this performance is singularly great because it tricked me into thinking Bayek was a well-written character for years until I realized he was not, and that game is written badly. Seriously, go play it again with a critical cap on, you'll be like, oh my god, this is fucking terrible. And I suppose it kind of helps that Darby told me that in the original script, nothing on that version of the story, because, you know, I mean, you just can't compete with you know, it was never going to happen, was it? Abu Bakr Salim's performance as Bayek of Siwa is fantastic, and I wanted a Bayek sequel for so long, purely because his performance made me like the character. It's incredible. It is the one example that I would cite for an actor elevating a script, because that script sucks. Bayek's performance, Abu Bakr's performance, is god tier. It's wonderful. Alright, so here's my tweet. This is what I posted. How many replies did it get? 89. Well, I'm not going through all of those, am I? I mean, let's see. Roger Clark included it. Mark Hamill's Joker, brilliant, but I had to give the spot to Kevin Conroy because recently he died. I feel like it'd be disrespectful for me to be like, and the Arkham actor, Mark Hamill. This person just said, what do you mean by performance? And, a lot of people were saying Kratos, Christopher Judge, and then, you know, the other one, I guess. It's gonna piss people off. Which, yeah, I agree. Great performance. Like I said, everybody in that game is wonderful. Same as Red Dead Redemption 2. But I decided to pick a wild card one instead of going for the obvious, because I thought it was more interesting. And also, I do think the Bolt's performance is the standout, more so than Kratos. Joel, Ellie, fucking basic as fuck Mario. There's a good one, Super Mario. Charles Martinet, yes, I agree. Yeah, that's a good one. That's actually a good one, to be fair. He's played that character for a very long time, and he's done, you know, bits and bobs with him. Nathan Drake's Nolan North, yes. Matt Ryan as Edward, I did think about putting this on, but because I already had Ezio, I was like, nah, can't do it, sadly. But Matt Ryan's Edward Kenway is very, very good. Jin Sakai, yes. I don't know whether it's like a standout performance for me. I mean, he does a great job, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, you know, one of the greatest. Same goes for, I think, Ashley Birch's Aloy. It's a good performance, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of those ones where I'm like, wow, you know, it's just kind of like, she's doing a good job, yeah, that's good, but it's not like one of those ones where I'm like, oh, that deserves an award, you know what I mean? Gary Oldman, Victor Reznov? Wait, what the fuck? You're telling me Victor Reznov was played by Gary Oldman? Is it the same Gary Oldman? What the fuck? I didn't fucking know that! That's sick! Brianna White's Aerith Gainsborough, yes, that's a very, very good one. I consider putting that on my list too. As well as Doug Cockle's Geralt of Rivia, Geralt the Witcher. Why have you called him that? Very good performances. Oh, and Keith David's Arbiter. Oh, what a performance. I agree, Rob Whitehoff's John Marston is very, very good. I think it's a lot more subdued and subtle than like Arthur Morgan's. Is a lot more like out there for you to sort of see. But I do think Rob's performance is like very good and convincing as John Marston. The way he gets over the character traits just through like his voice work is, yeah, really good. I'm just like scrolling through and like looking for ones that like jump out at me as like, oh yeah, that's a cool one to include. Because I can't go through everyone, can I? Courtney Draper as Elizabeth, that's one. Definitely that's one. She's very, very good in that game. I do think so. I think part of making a good companion is good performances. And if you don't have a great performance, you can find the companion annoying. Elizabeth is really good. That's really funny, that was. Was it worth it? Kingdom Hearts characters. Haley Joel Osment as Sora. Very good, especially because he grew up. Like, he started playing Sora as a kid. Now he's an adult, and he's still doing that voice. He's still nailing it and managed to, like, age up the character, too, without making it sound too old. Yeah, really good. Here's a bunch of Elden Ring voice actors, but, like, I mean, no one even played that game, so I don't think those matter. Amicia from Plague Tale, yeah. Charlotte McBurney. I didn't know that was her name. Yeah, that is a good performance. I think it's weird that in Plague Tale Requiem they made her British, but still she nails it. She's really good. Brian Deschartes as Connor, yeah, that's a good performance. I like the performance a lot. I think he does a good job of like conveying like he's a robot, he's a fucking android or whatever they're called. So I think that, yeah, that is a good performance, yeah, for sure. I think like he does a good job of conveying that, especially because like in real life he's not like that, so he's doing a good job. And Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker, yeah, that's it, yeah. He was born for that role, absolutely. He is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. The definitive Spider-Man to me, I would say. Oh, I did think about putting this one on, but my boy Noctis, Ray Chase. I'm not a big Final Fantasy 15 guy, and obviously I'm yet to replay it on my current replay of Final Fantasy games, but the one standout was definitely Ray Chase's performance as Noctis, because he nails it. I mean, Ray Chase nails everything he's in, but yeah, this is definitely a huge part of why I think people love 15 so much, is because of Ray Chase's killer performance. Yeah, Cody Christian, another one. His Cloud is very, very, very good. I think it stays true to like the original voice that they had, but it's obviously better because, you know, sorry to like hurt any feelings of people that I grew up with these games, but the voice actors for like Advent Children and shit, that they weren't good. I don't know like why people think they were good. they were bad. And I mean, look, there are so many others. I'm going to be here all day if I go through all these, but if you want to read them for yourself and maybe leave your own reply too as to your favorite video game performance, I'll leave a link in the description to my tweet and you can go ahead and read through them yourself and contribute and discuss. I mean, why not use the thread as that? I think that would be fun because there's so many great video game performances and I think it's worth highlighting them and talking about them. So I'll leave that down in the description for you. And well, I think we'll call it there. Thank you all so much for joining me for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is there anyone at all in the performance industry that I missed off this list? Let me know. I'd love to read through the comments. And please, let me know how much you hate The Last of Us Part 2. I promise you I don't care. I'll see you all tomorrow for another Advent Calendar video. Who knows what it's going to be? Who knows? Maybe I'll die. I've been under a lot of pressure making these. Anyway, that's it from me. Everybody have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.